Everyone. How is everybody doing? Good evening. It's Dr. Carmen Bryant, Psychological Health Consultants and Services. I wanted to come on live tonight to do a little chit chat with those of you that are on YouTube, those that have subscribed to my channel. If you have not already, take the opportunity. Just know that I'm looking at two cameras at the same time. And I've actually managed to balance it so it wouldn't fall over on the desk. So in the event that my camera falls over and you don't see me, I have to pick it up and put it back on my face. So I just wanted to wait a few minutes. If anybody would like to come on and ask questions, I've been doing a series of teachings about narcissist abuse. And do know that the camera is somewhere on the top of my iPad, and I don't know exactly where it's at. So I'm not trying to ignore you. I have to look into the camera at you guys. But if you have any questions, you guys are welcome to come on tonight. If you have not subscribed already, you are welcome to go to my YouTube channel. It's under Dr. Carmen Bryant with a T. I know some of you ask, why do I always say Bryant with a T? There's also a Carmen Bryant. Hi, Miss Cynthia. There's a Carmen Bryan. I guess she had a child with Nas or was with Jay-Z, whoever. That is not me. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant, Bryant, and my channel is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I'm going to change it to make it easier to search because I know some people search narcissist abuse. And so when I change it to make it a little easier to search on the YouTube channels, narcissist abuse happens to be a very relevant topic nowadays. So I just want to make it easier for you guys to search and find the videos. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that whenever I come on or whenever I post a video, you guys can go and check out the video. I also go on Facebook. I have a professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Hey, Tanya, my fuzzy French fried friend from Fulda, Germany. How are you doing? I'm so honored. Thank you guys for being on. I appreciate it. I didn't think many people would want to watch tonight, but at least I'm recording. I usually do pre-recorded videos. Uh, I do pre-recorded videos because I like to study before I come on and then give you guys some information. Live was a little intimidating for me because that means I have to just talk. So I'm talking off of so this is the first time going live on YouTube. But it's not the first time going live on Facebook. And so I just wanted you guys, if you have any questions concerning narcissist abuse, please, be my guest, ask me. I do remember. I remember writing you letters when I came back to the state and you were still in Germany. I missed you and you were my froggy French fried friend forever. And that's my Fulda Germany buddy, y'all. Miss Tanya Jivet and Clay. I think we were in seventh grade together, and I was probably about 30. No, I'm just joking. You guys know I'm really, really young. You guys are the older people. So, but I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit. And I wanted to address, I know one of the things I had on there was the narcissists who are the great illusionists. And so I was going to look up illusion, but I was thinking about a magician, or if you guys remember David Copperfield, or I think is Angel, whoever Angel is, where he walked across water. You have, the big mirror, all these wonderful illusions, that has us buying, tickets to go see them. They really do some really great acts. They really work on those acts. Magicians work very hard on their acts to make the public believe that magic exists. Well, the narcissist works very hard to make you believe that the magic exists. They work on illusions. And if you look up the term illusion. Illusion is to introduce false information. You may have some information, you may not have any information, but it's introducing false information and changing your perception of truth. And this is what the narcissist does. They interject false information to change your perception of the truth. So, in other words, they're tricking you. Everything about the narcissist is an illusion. And remember, if you've been watching the videos, you know, when you meet the narcissist, they work very hard at love bombing you. Never assume that meeting a narcissist is by chance only. Do know that they have probably been studying you. Hey, Miss Clara. But they have been studying you for a while, or they have been studying you. They're trying to pick up on your language. They're trying to pick up on what you like, the type of crowds you hang around, and you know, who you talk to, who you hang around. Are you a church girl? Are you not a church girl? You know, are you an educator? Are you in education? You know what? They try to figure out your world. So they're very patient, and they take time. It's like a predator. If you know lions, if you ever watch lions, the big cat, the big predators, they take a lot of time in studying their prey. They pick out those prey that they think will be easy to manipulate. They watch you. They see what you're like. Are you the type of person that is really into your looks? Are you the type of person that drives an expensive car? Are you the type of person that's, you know, and I tell people over and over again, even when I'm in session with people, is, you know, most people that have come out of narcissistic relationships or in narcissistic relationship, you have been beaten up so much. You've been drained so much. Hey, Miss Greer, long time no see. Long time no see. Thank you for tuning in. But when I tell people this in counseling is that, you know, most of us that have gotten out of relationship, and if you go and look on YouTube, if you go and look on, you know, the coaches, those are really good coaches. And I always talk about like Angie Atkinson. I'll tell you who Angie Atkinson is. Angie Atkinson is the one that got me, and I'm gonna keep going with the story. But Angie Atkinson got my attention because I love watching Criminal Minds, and she looks like the lady that plays Garcia on Criminal Minds. So that's how I looked at her. I said, "Oh, I didn't know she was making videos," and so I ended up watching her videos, and she talked about narcissist abuse. Then you have Mr. Quinn Holiday, who's associate direct. He's a male who has been in a relationship with a narcissistic female. Hey, Miss Lynette. Security. But Associate Direct Mr. Quinn Holiday is a male that has experienced a narcissistic relationship. You have people like Saeed, what's her name? I think Sierra. Sarah Saeed or Saeed, I can't recall her name. Quinn Holiday, Associate Direct, Angie Atkinson, Queen Being. You have people like Sarah Speaks. You have Melanie Tanya Evans. But if you look at all the coaches, if you look at all those people that are professionals in the field of narcissist recovery, and those that are coaches that have programs that help you, all of those individuals are people that have been in narcissistic relationships. So majority of us that are on have been in situations where they've been in narcissistic relationships. And so most of them are coming from experience, firsthand experience. Number two, educational background. They went and studied abuse, or they went and studied trauma, and they come on and bring you their experience. They become and also collaborate with other professionals that deal with trauma. I myself am I'm a certified clinical trauma professional. I work with many clients that have been through all sorts of trauma. I am a very adamant and advocate for people that are recovering from domestic violence, and a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Washington. So I've done this all through my military career. I have soldiers that talked about it that I helped a long time ago. And so the way that I got into it is when I came out of the situation, 22 plus years of narcissist abuse that affected my family, that affected myself, affected the people around me. I was one of those advocates that would help everyone around me, but never recognized or have the strength to come out of it myself. When I did finally come out of it, I've always been an advocate for those that are in domestic violence. In the beginning, it was because of the fact that I didn't know how to come out of it myself. So I figured if I focused my attention on everybody else, I became the greatest helper, the greatest person, until just recently I spoke to a former soldier. Well, hi there, Miss Kim. How are you? I'm so honored. Thank you so much for being live. If you have any questions, you feel free to ask me any question. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. But I myself was a very adamant. I spoke to a former soldier of mine who, her and I are very close friends now. And matter of fact, she disclosed to me that she always wondered, and always, when I helped her in her situation, she said that it didn't dawn on her that I was going through it myself. And so it wasn't until later on, until I began to study narcissist abuse, that I realized how damaging, and that I also was a part of that. And when I began to study it, I began to help people in my office. I noticed there were so many people that were coming in. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm really honored. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Miss Clara. But I also realized there were so many people that were coming in to my office. I was getting almost an equal case of narcissists, those that were diagnosed with narcissism, and those that were being affected by narcissist abuse at different stages. You had some that were coming in, had been married 1 to 2 years, anywhere from 1 to 2 years to almost 20, 30 years of a relationship with a narcissist. I do not treat personality disorders. If I do know there's a personality disorder, and some of them are very, very when you're dealing with not narcissists, but when you're dealing with personality disorders, a lot of them are so intense, that I choose not to work with them, because I believe, and that's my professional opinion, that you should have a good support system, meaning med providers, medical personnel, doctors. You have a group of people, and then narcissists can be very violent. Matter of fact, majority of all the people, well, I say about 60% of the people that I had in my office that I diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, when it dawned on me what I was dealing with, and when it finally the revelation came, when I had that epiphany, and I realized the symptoms that I was dealing with was actually narcissistic personality disorder. I tested my theory, and once they realized, I realized what they were doing and what they were. Majority of them, I think 60% of them, became very violent. And so, very violent. I've had people threaten me. I had people tell me that I will continue counseling with them. And so, normally, I do have a relationship with the Tacoma Police Department. I also make sure that I take good notes. I also make sure that I refer them to other resources, but I do not treat personality disorder. That includes other personality disorders. Borderline personality disorder can be also very, very exhausting. But I tell you, those people, I do have a colleague that works with personality disorders. She enjoys working with personality disorders. And so each of us have our own talents, and we all have our own methodology of what we do. I myself choose to work with victims of domestic violence. I have been to training for the batterers course. Whenever there's court ordered where a person has gone to court and maybe has been accused of assault or domestic violence, they send them to a batterers program to be assessed. I've been to those courses. I've been to that certification course, and I realized, and which most of you do, that people that batter have been battered themselves. Not all batterers batter, and those that sexually molest or are sexually violent usually have been sexually violated themselves, and they're repeating the behavior. That does not necessarily mean that those that sexually violate will violate again. Sometimes they become victimized all over again. And so, having said that, I was talking about the great illusionist. Of those of you that have had experience with narcissists or have been in a relationship with narcissists, one thing that my mentor says, if you've never been in a relationship with a narcissist, you really don't know. And so those people that talk about narcissism, and they're talking about it from a studying or academic or a research point of view, they're speaking from interviewing people, maybe having seen them in the office. But if you've never been in a relationship with a narcissist, you will know, and definitely you will know. Hello. Well, thank you so much, Jay Naylor. I'm not sure if I'm speaking to male or female, so I apologize. Thank you so much for enjoying my channel. Thank you for subscribing. I'm so honored. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in this evening. I'll try not to keep you guys too long, but you guys are welcome. You guys are on the channel. You're welcome. As I'm talking, you're welcome to put whatever question you want to on there. And if I can answer it, I will. I don't know all the answers, but everything that I do know, I will share with you. So please, whatever you want to say, interact with me. I would love to answer your questions. Once again, like I said, if you've never been with a narcissist, if you ever get with one, you will know. And when people talk about it, you'll know who's been in a relationship with a narcissist. Remember, when they meet you, that you meet the representative. Can they love? They don't have the capacity to love. They don't have empathy. And if you look at some of the videos that I did some research on, because the question was asked, do they have brain damage? And so I went and looked at some research, and it talked about that portion of our brain that has the capacity of feeling empathy and compassion, and we have a conscience for people. That part of the brain has been affected. They're not capable of making those connections. I don't know if it's chemical damaging in the connection of the brain waves, the chemical. I'm not a brain specialist, but I don't know if there's damage to the chemicals that go back and forth. Miss Clara, you are a chemical professional. You know about addictions, and you know what it can do to the brain when your brain has been chemically addicted to drugs and alcohol, and long exposures to alcohol or drug addictions. It causes memory failure. It causes brain damage. It can cause brain damage. And so somewhere during the time that a narcissist has been traumatized, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Jailer, Mr. J Naylor. Let's see, is more dangerous. Let me see. Um, what is more dangerous, a malignant or a covert narcissist? My ex is a covert and very mentally abusive. She always likes to say, "You make no sense when you talk," just to make me feel stupid. Mr. Naylor, malignant and covert narcissist is dangerous. You have, let's see, let me put this down some. So, malignant, dangerous, violent, covert, meaning that these are the type that can, within the public, they're the ones that are very charming, very nice. Those are the ones that I can't believe that you would even accuse this person of doing that. You can't believe that this person would ever do anything like this. Those are covert ones. Those are the ones that abuse at home. Let me pull your Okay, there we go. Those are the ones that are abused privately, but those are the ones that people usually love. They're really nice people. They do a lot. They make rank. They'll give the shirt off of their back. Anything that they can possibly do. I apologize. I'm trying to scroll up. Sorry about that. But both of them are very dangerous because most people won't believe that you're being abused, and that's male and female. So, even though I kind of cater toward the females, I always say males go through the exact same thing, and females can be very, very vicious. Males want control, females want dominant. They want to dominate. Let's see. She works at the VA. Last straw was when she disrespected my mother. Mr. Naylor, the advice that I can give you is you have to determine your level of sanity. How much can you take? One thing that I have been taught, and one thing that I teach, is never, same thing that my mentor told me, is never accept disrespect from a person, because once you start allowing disrespect, they'll continue doing it over and over again. And especially when you're dealing with a female. One thing that we females do, and I taught this when I was in the military to my male soldiers, one thing that a female wants to do is dominate a male. And so if you allow us that inch and you allow us to disrespect you, we'll continue doing it. And if you allow us to do that, we'll even think that you're weak. And so you never, and I'm not saying be violent back. Two wrongs don't make a right. But at the same time, you have to put your foot down and you have to create some boundaries, safety issues for yourself, safety issues for your mental sanity. You want peace, but always remember this, a narcissist will not change. They cannot change. There's no studies that I have found, and from my experience of dealing with narcissists, I have never seen a narcissist cured of a personality disorder. Even when we were in school, we learned that when you're dealing, at the time we were doing with the 5-axis, and dealing with the 5-axis, we found that personality disorders cannot be changed. We have to teach people how to manage them, but they will not change. And so you have to make a choice. I can't tell you what to do, but you have to make a choice at what is safe for you. What is safe and what is, when it comes to respect. One thing that men cannot handle, ladies, men cannot handle being disrespected. If you disrespect, you could cheat. A man can cheat on a woman and we'll take a lot and we'll forgive and do again. But one thing that a man cannot handle no matter what is disrespect. So, Mr. Naylor, if you feel disrespected and you feel that this can get worse, because if your ex is a covert, malignant narcissist, it'll get worse. And the worst thing that you can do is stay, because women will tend to use their femininity. They're the victim, or woe is me, and he's a man, and I can't believe you would think that I could do anything to this big man, little man, whatever. So you have to make a choice how much you can tolerate and when it's time for you to go, because she's not going to change. Let's see, Miss Kim. I didn't know what I was dealing with until I found your YouTube channel, your YouTube videos, and man, everything suddenly became very clear to me. My son and I are no contact now and doing great. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Sometimes it takes education. Sometimes it takes education to learn. That's why I never try to force people out of a bad relationship. I try to educate them and let them make up their own mind. If you force somebody out of a domestic violence situation, usually it's not permanent. They're not going to stay out. And then on top of that, you teach them how to get out of the relationship, but you're not teaching them how to heal their mind, because it's a psychological damage that has happened. Ms. Clara said, I can say this: ever since you opened up with this topic, it has shown me signs that I have been okay, you guys give me a minute, dealing with one. Now I have recognized I know how to handle the situation. Hey, I am so honored, Miss Clara. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching my videos. That is my whole goal. I love to teach. Believe it or not, I like to talk in public, but I'm kind of quiet at home, believe it or not. But I love teaching. That's one thing I love to do. And one thing that I found out when when I'm in session, in clinical sessions with clients, I would get so frustrated because I couldn't figure out how to save everybody. Young therapists, when you go into counseling, you want to save everybody. You want to fix everybody. And one thing that I realized is that people have to make a choice. All of us that have been in situations with domestic violence, we had to make a choice to leave. You're so welcome, Miss Clara. But we had to make the choice to leave. And once we made that choice to leave, we had to make the choice at whether we're going to tolerate the pain in the process of healing, of coming out of bad relationships like that. So let's see. Mr. Naylor said, she would hide it and no one believed me until my mom saw it at my nephew's wedding. I am no contact for 3 months. Her parents just I was in the Marine Corps. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, rah. I was in the Army. Go ahead, Marine. I'm so honored. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for your service. And you know what it means to be respected. We understand respect. That's how we were taught in the military, is respect, mutual respect. And if she can't respect you, sir, then there's no reason for you to stay in the relationship. And you did the right thing, no contact. Because I promise you this one thing, it was going to get worse. And if she was disrespecting you and she disrespected your mother, that's the whole thing, is to make people believe. A covert narcissist works very, very hard in making people believe that you're the one with the problem. You're crazy. And then think about this for just a minute. I don't know whether she was in the service or not, sir, but as a Marine, out of all things, a Marine, which is the greatest, I'm in the military, and I do confess, Marines was one of the greatest and most disciplined outfit in the military service. Now think about it for a minute. Now, if she's using the feminine, that female, what's the word I'm looking for? If she's using her femininity and then telling people how you're this Marine and you're crazy, and she's getting her flying monkeys, or those people to side with her to make her feel, oh my gosh, I know how Marines, most people don't know how Marines are, and I worked around them for a while when I got out the military. And you guys are pretty much similar to we are in the Army. You got your good ones and you got your bad ones. But remember, she can use that. She can use her femininity to make people feel sorry for her. And she's going to work very hard to make you look crazy, number one, because she knows what she's doing. And so, for you having left and go no contact, you and Miss Kim, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Do not break your no contact. If you have children together, you're going to have to stonewall. Stonewall meaning having to take all your emotions out of the conversation and stick to the facts. In the military, we're taught bottom line up front, the bluff concept. You remember when you were writing memorandums? Whenever you write memorandums, a letter, you have to take your emotions out of it. If you write the first one and there's a lot of emotion on it, usually what were we told? Put it aside, then come back to it later. Then take all the emotions out of it and stick to the facts. If you allow her to move you, or if you go no contact, it'll be worse the next time. And especially as a male, a woman can say a lot of things and they're believed in court before a man is believed in court. So I applaud you, sir, for leaving. And thank you so much for sharing that and being honest enough to share that. Miss Tara, why do narcissists use other people to do their hoovering for them? Hold on, let me see. Why do narcissists use other people to do the hoovering? And it says them. Was that the end of the question, or can you repost that again? Why do narcissists use others to do their hoovering? And I'm gonna answer that unless there's another part of that. Why? Because all they'll use any means necessary. Remember, they got flying monkeys, so they got flying monkeys that do their bidding for them, so they look like they're perfectly innocent. I don't know what you're talking about. It has nothing to do with me. But they've trained them. They trained. Remember the flying monkeys? Yes, ma'am, it is true, Miss Lynette. Thank you for co-signing. I appreciate that. But remember, they've worked very hard to get their flying monkeys. Remember the flying monkeys off of the Wizard of Oz? The flying monkeys did the battle for the witch. The witch didn't fight. The flying monkeys did it. You have those flying monkeys. They're very, think about it. You have some flying monkeys, if you're dealing with like a covert, malignant, let's say somatic, which is more sexual, materialistic, money. You know, they're living this life of the illusion of grandiosity, and so they have to get these flying monkeys. It's called their entourage of people that worship them and feel them, to make them feel like they're so wonderful and so great. Some people just want to be associated with somebody that looks like there's something, so they just want to be associated. So easy to manipulate them. That's what they do. And so they got these flying monkeys that do the bidding for them, that do the fighting for them. Think about it. It's easier to attack you in a group. That's more exhausting for a group to attack you than for the narcissist, because then it's just one-on-one. So they'll use anybody and anything against you to do hoovering to pull you back in, especially if you were a good supply. If you were a good supply, it doesn't matter what you look like. You had money, you're a good a homemaker, they in the average person can be proud of you. You're a good provider. So it's something about you that was really good. You were a good source of supply. So they'll always hoover, number one, to see the door still open, just in case it doesn't work out with the new supply. And all of them are always searching for a new supply. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Mr. Naylor said, her mind games were worse than boot camp. I finally realized she was nothing but toxic. I'm so glad I found your channel a blessing. You are very thorough with the information. I found the channel this morning. Beautiful thumbnails. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. And you are absolutely right. You got to remember, there are some narcissists that don't, there are some narcissists that do not, hold on, let me get there. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. I'm waiting for, okay, so it just cut off. Let me go back on my, give me just a second. Let me go back and turn this back on. Okay. Facebook just went out. I apologize. Sorry, you guys. Give me just a second. Let me turn the Facebook back on, okay? For some reason, it turned off. So let me turn it back on. Okay. It's starting live streaming again. It does that sometimes. But you are absolutely right. Okay, let me go back and remember. Okay, here we go. So you are absolutely right. Remember, the game that these, hold on, give me a second. Let me wait till this one turns on. It's starting my live video. It hasn't started yet. Before I make a comment on that. I don't know, it's just slow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I don't know why my YouTube is kind of slow. I'm just waiting for it to come on, waiting for it to come on. I apologize, you guys. Let me try it again, okay? I don't know, my channel's slow. I'll talk and just repeat myself when that one comes on, okay? But think about it for just a minute. Yes, that's their whole game. Their whole game is mental games. Their whole game is mental games. Let's see. The average woman, I'm not saying that they can't, but the average woman cannot beat up a man. And so if the average woman can't beat up a man, they work very hard on making you feel less than or less than worthy. And so, of course, that is the whole game. Psychological games is their whole game. And that's why I was talking about, that illusion. I think I need to just start the whole thing over again. Give me a second. But you guys, please ask me some more questions, and I'll answer it while I'm doing this, okay? I apologize. Give me just a second, okay? But you guys go ahead and ask me questions. Ask me questions if you have any questions. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's try that again. You guys doing okay on there? You guys kind of quiet. Talk to me. Tell you something, I'm on live now. You guys talk to me. Now you guys get to actually see my personality, so I have to be so super professional. I actually do have a personality. A friend of mine said that I come on and I have no personality. I'm a jokester. I love to laugh. I love to see people laugh. You know, sometimes when I'm talking about narcissist abuse, it is a serious topic for me, and I try to come and be as professional as I possibly can. And then I was told I was super professional. So now you guys get a chance to see me live. I do have a personality. I love to laugh. If you guys have any questions, please take the opportunity to ask any question that you have. And once again, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Miss Kim, Mr. Naylor, I love the Marines. I love the Army too now. You know, I'm gonna take the credit away, but I love the Army too. Are you guys still on there? You guys still on? I don't know what happened to my Facebook live feed. It's just, I don't know. You guys still on there? You guys still with me? Maybe it's the connection at the house. You guys still on? So what I'm going to do is I probably am going to go to my personal page. I'm going to go to my personal Facebook page, and then I'll just repost when I get there. Don't know what happened. I apologize, you guys. Let's do this again. Let's see. All right, are you guys still there? I'm trying to stream live off of my other side of the Facebook. You guys have any more questions? Come talk to me. Like I said before, you know, a magician deals with illusion, and so does the narcissist. Don't know if my battery is dying on my Facebook page. Don't know what happened to the Facebook page. But narcissists are great illusionists. You meet the representative when you meet that narcissist. They're going to be on their best behavior. That's even, now, you have to understand that there's a difference between bad relationships and narcissist abuse. Narcissists, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with an individual. I think my live feed stopped. You guys still there? I think my camera froze, y'all.